Endo, thanks very much for joining us. The news announced today that Paul Cooke is joining the Knights as assistant coach. How delighted are you to bring Cookie into your coaching staff?
No, I'm really pleased to secure the services of Paul. And I'm pleased that Paul wanted to come here too. I know he's been touted for a few jobs in recent years, and obviously having conversations with him when we met, that nothing's really sort of excited him or he's felt he's wanted to commit to. And but obviously after meeting with myself and then meeting with Clint as well, he's really sort of bought into the vision of the club and the journey that we're going on, and feels he can add some value to our coaching team. So, and that was one of the reasons I did sort of approach him. I felt that we needed to sort of strengthen our performance staffing operation going into 2024, and I think I've mentioned that before. Each year we go, we need to see progression and improvement, and I looked obviously at the end of the season of, okay, what areas can we improve within our performance department in terms of staffing operation, and I felt adding another assistant coach to the mix would help strengthen us. So and then it was a case of, well, who's out there, who's available, who's of the right quality and standard that we need to help develop our players further and take them to the next level. And Paul Cooke come to mind pretty quickly, and I did some sort of homework on him, and some of the feedback I had from people that have worked with Paul or worked under him was really positive. And after meeting with him, to sort of hear the way he views the game, we're very much aligned there, and I just think it's a great addition for us that we have a quality coach that can help now service and develop our players further.
And he'll be working alongside Jed and Will, and obviously, like I say, expanding that coaching staff further, which can only be a help to yourself and the team.
Well, absolutely, and as a head coach, you have a lot of things that you have to contend with and deal with on a day-to-day basis, and I think the more quality support staff you have around you to support you in certain areas, I think is a bonus. So, obviously, really pleased that the owner, Clint, was able to back me on that and help us expand our performance operation in terms of our staffing for 2024. And I'm really looking forward to working more closely with Paul and seeing the sort of the value he will add to this playing group.
Is he going to have a specific focus that potentially will help you, in training, to focus on, smaller groups and that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's kind of part of the reason. I think we've got a good balance now. We've got all effectively a back in Paul Cooke or an ex-half-back, and you've got a front rower in Jed Corcoran there. So I think you could probably work out there who's going to be working with what sort of units, so to speak. But yeah, no, they'll have more defined roles. So Paul will take a unit to work with, and so will Jed, and obviously I'll oversee all sort of operations and dip in with both, and they'll be delivering what I need delivering, but for the group. But I have that trust that they can deliver to a high enough standard, and they'll have that responsibility to work more closely with those individuals and smaller groups. And then we have Will Lead as well as a young coach still developing underneath there to support as well, both Jed and Paul and myself, and looking after another selection of players that we've targeted for him to work with.
Yeah. And Cookie obviously comes in having had a fantastic playing career. Obviously played at the highest level in his career, and obviously has patched coaching experience as well with Doncaster and Lee as well. So plenty of experience to add to the Knights.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was another reason why I thought Paul would be a good addition. He's worked in a full-time environment as a coach. He's worked in a part-time environment as a coach. He's played obviously as a full-time player for a number of years. He's had some success as well. He's won some big trophies and played in some big games. So again, I think it's trying to bring to our group of players, what does winning look like at the highest level, and that's where we've got some of the senior players that we've brought in to help with that as well. But Paul's done that too as a player, and like I said, had the experience of working in a full-time environment as a coach and in a part-time environment as a coach, which again I think is invaluable. So when we do make that transition in the long term, he knows what that looks like, but he also knows what it looks like now whilst we're part-time. So I'm really pleased that we've got him on board. I think we've got a strong coaching team now to help support our players and give them the best quality of service we can with the resources that we have available. And hopefully, like you said here, we can continue to progress players individually and collectively as a team, and hopefully we continue to move forward.